Hey, good morning everybody. As you can see, Brian is behind me digging away in the 100% humidity and sweating buckets. I have just gotten out of the shower. It's supposed to rain pretty much all week, which means he really needs to fix the valve that has been malfunctioning on the septic tank because we can't keep up with pumping it as much as we would need to keep everything working. So it's approximately 8 in the morning. He's just been at it since about 7:15, and this is how we're spending our morning. We're leaving for camping in a week, so I think, you know, we've got so much to do, and this is just like, once again, it's not gonna wait, right? It's like, pay attention to me. So here we go. So there's the septic tank right there, and we have schematics. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And we measured out, and that's supposed to be the splitter valve, but it just kind of looks like a plastic tube with sand in it. We have dug up this valve once before, many years ago, so we kind of remember what it looks like, but that little tubey thing is not on the schematic. And so now he's just digging around trying to find what it is we're looking for. Okay, so a little bit about how our septic system works. We have the septic tank kind of right there, and then there is a pipe that goes kind of down and across and leads to the dosing tank, which is right here. So the septic, you know, there's that pipe that leads between our house and the septic, which is questionable, but we're getting a sewer hookup imminently. Actually, I received an email that says it could be yet this summer. So the fact that the pipe is failing is just like, whatever at this point. But we just literally can't use our plumbing right now until he fixes this. So even though we're like maybe a month or two away from sewer, we have to deal with this. So the septic that has that pipe, it fills and fills. It's already been professionally emptied 3 weeks ago. There's the pipe that has a valve. So all septic tanks like hold the waste, and then they're designed to slowly leach that into like a finger drainage system out the back. And the old one is actually sitting kind of where our garden is. That's the old finger system. What was happening is it was failing, and it couldn't take the capacity of the drainage from the rest of the neighborhood. I think I've said in previous vlogs that, you know, we're on a slope, and then behind us there's a creek that leads to the forest behind us. So everybody drains through our yard. So the finger system was failing. So what they did is they came in and they put like this splitter valve, installed a dosing tank, and that now leaches things up to our front yard, which is a more efficient, modern finger system. It's actually it's a leach field. It's not even a finger system. And we have the schematics. We know when they did this. We know how they did it. It's not a super great plan. It's supposed to be drawn to scale, but whatever. So right now, water is supposed to come out of our septic tank, go through this like right angle turn to the dosing tank, and get held there, allowing our septic tank to stay more empty, and then slowly leach out. So it should make it more efficient. What's happened, we think, is the valve, the splitter valve that they put in, allowing us to switch between the old finger system and the new one in the front yard, has like failed or just like busted off. So Brian has to replace that. And in the meantime, the pump on our dosing tank has failed. So it's actually not pumping anything into the leach fields right now, all of which means that all the water, including rainwater, it's not just water we use, it's rainwater, it's water from everyone else, is backflowing into our septic tank because it has nowhere else to go, which means he has been pumping it every other day or so just so we could use the water. We're leaving for camping. We're going to South Dakota in 1 week. And we need this to get resolved before we leave. It's also supposed to rain all week, which obviously is an issue. You know, if you're having backflow issues, having a bunch of rain is just gonna make it even harder. And yesterday it just poured buckets. So he has to deal with this now, but it's like 100% humidity. It's gonna thunderstorm later. And all of the rain has made it a muddy mess, which I think is making it more difficult to dig. It's like digging through like glue. Everything is sticking. Yeah, and he's like sweating buckets over there. So yeah, I feel bad for him. But that is what is going on with our plumbing. So fun times.
No, this is no scale, so that doesn't make any difference. That's supposed to be 45, and that's almost an inch and a half. So they really haven't really given us any reference points to see what that scale is. Like they didn't. You write scale, and then if you want somebody to be able to translate it, you got to give them something to scale to.
Okay, so we're trying to use the schematic again
4
because obviously we can't find it. What's 4 foot? The scale?
From the end of the septic tank, but I don't, maybe 8 foot. The thing is, I don't know where
They're measuring from.
the end of the septic
Right.
tank is exactly.
Right.
I know kind of.
Because this is the front. So if you measure from this, we're at like 8 feet.
Let's see what that is. Quarter. A little. So that'd be 8, maybe 9-ish feet from the thing. You said it's about 10 foot?
You're at 8 feet from the opening right now.
Basically, that's telling us that
Is it?
the splitter. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the
Should be about there.
plan for reference, you guys. So there's our septic, there's the splitter, there's the dosing tank, and all we have is this like scale equals 1 foot to 40 foot, but it's like not super helpful. There's no easy like reference to scale it, so we're just sort of guessing. Fun times. So according to the scale, this thing should be the splitter valve, and so we're just like looking at pictures of it right now because, you know, we did dig it up once when we moved in because the valve was set to drain into the old finger system, which wasn't very efficient. That's why they put the system in was to get things to go to the front yard. So then we dug it up. We remember there was a tin can over it. And then ever since then, it should have been turned to go to the front yard. But we're trying to understand how this is what we saw almost a decade ago.
There's nothing. This is just a pipe.
Yeah.
It has nothing. It goes down, and then it has sand in it, or something like sand.
Yeah. You can sort of see in there.
It just looks like sand,
Yeah.
kinda. The bottom of it. could take a stick and just, yeah, it maybe looks like there is a valve-like thing
Way at the base.
down there. It needs to be uncovered. And yep, I think I see it. Let's dig it out a little bit. Oh, I think we got the cheap splitter valve.
Well, the name of the company has the words cut rate in it.
Yeah. The splitter valves you gotta get to every once in a while. And it seems like they're useful to put some thought into how accessible they are. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is kind of stupid. And your septic tank always seems to back up after it's rained a lot in the spring. And everything's all messy and your sewage is backing up. All that. So you always have to like get to it in an unideal way. Oh, I don't think that pulls up. I saw a lot of pull-up types. I think it turns. It looks like there's a special tool.
That we don't.
Like a long tool and then a turny thing.
I kind of remember that, and I think you had to fabricate something.
I think I do have to get something. I don't know what yet. You go see what I get.
Okay. Okay, so if I get the camera way down in there, you can see that like vertical thing? We think that's the valve. And how do you turn that? Okay, so you have a wrench.
Yeah, see if that works. Can't see anything. I don't think that's working.
No. Can you not get it small enough, or?
No, I think it wants to be like this
Mm-hmm.
to get straight on there. You can see that it pulls it like that. So then down in there, my wrench is like at an angle like this. And then
Okay.
put on it.
All right. I'm just pausing while Brian goes and finds yet another tool to try on this valve, to take note of how lovely the garden is this morning with the sun streaming through the trees. And okay, moment of zen. What are you thinking, babe?
I think I have to go to the shop. and make something.
Okay.
A tool to turn it. It
Okay.
looks like it has, the strange thing is it has turned to the old finger system, but I know I had it turned to that system, so that tells me it over time moves itself back to the old system, which generally valves do not do that. They don't like just move. You turn them and they stay in that location until somebody else turns them, but maybe there's pressure or something that turns the valve over time, and that's probably why they're saying you have to check it every year. But this is ridiculous to try to like find this, and I guess I can measure and we could always do that, but I'll probably just get tube or a box or something and do it right, like how they should have. You bring this up almost to the surface. You either have some cap or marker that's easily visible and you can see it. Perhaps grass will grow over it, but it'll just be above the surface, and you kind of know it's about 9 feet from there, and you should be able to, like when it's all dug up, you should be able to go like that and be like, oh, there it is. And then I can unscrew and get to it and turn things. I just think this is a poor location, but we only had to do it once in 10 years or 8 years or so.